Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us for week number 9 of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Weekly Football Coaches Video Conference presented by WellsFargo. I'm Lynn Thompson, Strategic Advisor for the MEAC, and I'm going to serve as host for today's question and answer session. Here are the rules. As always, before we begin, I'd like to go over the procedures. The conference will start off by asking each head coach questions about the previous matchup and the upcoming games. Before opening the call for questions from the media. For this week's session, the media reps will be limited to one question per coach with additional opportunities provided as time permits. To ask a question, simply click the raised hand feature, remain muted until you are introduced, and remember to, once you ask your question, take your hand down, please. Got it? Good, let's get started. You know, this past Saturday, we kicked off with much anticipated we're in that 5-week chase for the MEAC championship, and what a weekend it was. All of the league teams were involved in homecoming matchups that created some fireworks, unexpected results, and overtime drama. And if this first week of the MEAC head-to-head conference schedule is a prelude to the rest of the season, look out. We're in for an exciting ride to the championship and a berth in this Cricket Celebration Bowl. So this past weekend, we've already seen an unexpected team burst on the scene, a contender now forced to play catch-up, and another top choice struggle out of the gate. So we all know the drill. This morning, we're going to start by talking with our coaches, and they'll weigh in on their team's performances and their plans to stake a claim for the MEAC crown in this week's game. We'll kick things off first by heading over to the Mecca to chat with head coach of the Howard Bison, Larry Scott. Good morning to you, Coach.
Good morning, Lynn. How you doing?
Good, man. I know you seem like you're doing good.
Man,
you know?
One day at a time.
Man, the Bison, y'all were close to being counted out of homecoming. I mean, down by 6 with under 2 to go. You had to drive the length of the field to force overtime. Then your defense held Morgan State scoreless in OT. And all it took was one play to seal the deal. What a way to break the losing streak, send the HU family home happy, and go 1-0 in the MEAC. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, and it was like you just said. I think you just summed it all up there very well. The biggest thing for us was coming out of the kind of the lull we had been in a 3-game losing streak, so to speak, and just come out and play good football. Still believe in who we are, our process of preparation, and how we've been built. So for us, it was a character win. It was one that we really needed, and it revealed a lot of things to this football team that I think are going to be truly beneficial for us down the stretch. A, it's never over. B, just keep believing, keep playing, keep swinging, and good things will happen. And right when we needed to go the distance, and if it takes 4 quarters and beyond, you're built for that too. So all of those things kind of manifested itself for us in one, which I think will be truly beneficial for us down the stretch here.
Wow, Coach, the Bison have regained that lost momentum, and now you need it because you get a chance to do it again against a very good North Carolina Central team that's smarting after the upset loss to Dale State. That's going to be a very important game in terms of maintaining momentum and going 2-0 in the MEAC. Let's talk about this team and this huge game.
Oh, yeah, huge game. You talk about a really good North Carolina Central football team that, you don't pour gas on a burning fire. They're already good enough football team as it is. But now, you put the extra element in there of kind of them being a wounded team a little bit. So these guys are going to come in here. I know Coach Allen's going to have them ready to go. They're going to be primed. They're a really good, well-coached football team that becomes a really scary team. A wounded team is a scary team. And these guys I know going to come in here and give us everything that they got. And they're going to come in here with the intentions to beat our tails. That's it, period, in the story. So definitely going to be, have to be ready for that challenge, welcome that challenge, and be ready to go ourselves. And I promise you, our guys will be ready to play too.
Coach, good. That's it for me. You got a couple of questions coming now from the media. Remember, let's use the raise hand feature. Remain muted until you're introduced, and then once your question is answered, just drop your raise hand feature down. Let's start it off going over to Wayne Cartwright. Good morning to you, Wayne.
Good morning to you, Lynn, and good morning to you, Coach Scott.
Wayne, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Doing very well. What a crazy game. Congrats on the win. I don't know if you know this, but those of us that tried to watch it on ESPN Plus, man, that signal kept going in and out, and they had technical issues. But congrats nevertheless.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Fortunately, I ain't got nothing to do with that, Wayne. So I mean, yeah, that is news to me. Fortunately, I'm right there live and in color to watch it all. So
Yeah. So my question for you is just very, very, very simple for you. We know that this is a series of 1-game seasons, and this next part of this 1-game season, what's the specific process that you're taking with your guys to come off of this game to immediately flush that and get yourselves ready with the distinct details of getting ready for this next 1-game season against North Carolina Central?
exactly that. We boil it down to a 1-day season. Every day is an independent day of its own in the preparation process for what comes on Saturday. And the important only thing that you control is what's in front of you right now. So we talk about just the day-by-day process of preparation that leads up to game day. So we're not thinking about Saturday. Saturday is still 6 days away. Yesterday we did the flush deal yesterday. We do all of the recap of the game. We watch it. We do all those things. We make those corrections. We do all of those things, and then we start focusing on the recovery, nutrition aspect of winning. The early breakdown of the next opponent, type base information, and all of those type of things. And then we know. Then the next part is the recovery aspect. Educating them through that. Hey, time off your feet. What it looks like. To make sure you get 3 or 4 solid meals in your body and get treatment and all those type of things. So just a day-by-day process, man. And we take it 1 day at a time around here. And today's Monday. It's a good academic day for our guys and really, focus and lock in on classes and recovery. They'll come by the offices and kind of pick up some tidbits and early information and those type of things to start their studies and film study and all those type of things on the next opponent. But take care of school and take things 1 day at a time. And then when we get to Tuesday, that'll be our first go to work day, and we'll get to it that day. But man, for today, let's win 1 day.
All right. Appreciate you as always, Coach Scott. Good luck next week good luck this week against North Carolina Central.
All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Wayne. Coach, the next question comes from Chris Stevens from HBCU Sports. Top of the morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, Lyndon. Thanks. Thanks. Coach Scott, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you, Chris?
Pretty good. You guys have been on the road more than some of these old school R&B acts. Just now that you've had a home game, now that you guys have been back at Green Stadium, just how good, number one, did it feel to get back there? Number two, how do you think that road show got you guys, camaraderie and chemistry together as you get through this portion of the schedule?
No, yeah, man, we've been tested, and I think that was the message has been to our team. You've been built right. You've gone through the gauntlet. You've gone through all the situations. You've been in environments, the uncomfortable ones. You've been to homecoming, but you've done all the things, man. And you're right. To pack up this thing and be a traveling road show. Thank God I don't know, man. There's some people told me that Shy was here for homecoming on stage, and they need to sound like they need to pack it up. So when you just made me laugh when I thought about that, but. Uh, it's definitely been a whirlwind for us, man. But we're going to use all of those experiences, right, to prepare us for what we got coming ahead. You go through everything, everything that you go through is preparing you for something. And so we've taken every one of those opportunities, all those examples, all of those games, and took something from them that's going to help build us to be ready to go do what we need to do week in and week out. But for right now, it's a 1 day at a time process. Driven towards preparation for what we have to do this weekend. And that's how we're looking at it. Passes in the past, we'll reflect to take what we need to take from it. But right now, our eyes are straight forward into the future, starting with our preparation of today.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time as always. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coach, next question coming to you from HBCU Overdrive's Doc Holliday. Doc, how you doing?
I'm doing good today. How y'all doing today?
Good.
All right. Coach Scott, how you doing today?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm waking up, bro. I'm waking up. Saturday, you dominated in this game all the way through, but the two main Achilles heel for the team was penalties and the turnovers, especially with the penalties, having 10 penalties for over 100 yards. How are you trying to assess the team and let the team know, like, in certain situations that they can't get just the penalties coming out, especially against the team that was a rival.
Yeah, I mean, none of these games down the stretch can you be the most penalized team. We pride ourselves in that, and I think we've been one of the least penalized teams in the country until just this Saturday. So definitely something that it's a must clean up for us. An area that we need to, address and look at. There's degree of penalties. What type of penalty was it? If there's things of nature of just, hand placement and fundamentally cleaning up some things, obviously that's what's going to be stressed to get cleaned up as far as that goes. Sometimes penalties are subjective to the eye of the beholder who's throwing the flag. And those things we don't control. So the things that we do control, within that, playing the game the right way, playing the game with the right technique, right fundamentals, hands inside, doing all those type of things. You can't hold on the perimeter, right? On all those type of things, just the things that we control through our fundamental technique are things that we control. So we'll clean those things up with just our work through the week. And other than that, I don't ever want to slow our guys down from playing fast and playing physical and playing, football the right way it's just supposed to play it, physical and fast and all those type of things. So we'll clean up things from a fundamental standpoint, but obviously it's something we kind of eliminate. We don't want that. Those are things that are the separating factors in determining winning and losing. So definitely something that we'll surely get addressed. And you can't turn the ball over in these games, period, end of story.
All right. Thank you, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, Coach, your next question comes from Nathaniel Henry Jr. from Howard Media.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Nate. How you doing?
Great. I was just want to ask a question about that last drive and the mindset of the team going out on the field and to compete and execute to come up successful. What went into that?
Right, just situational football. Situational awareness. The guys kind of understood, the situation we had in hand. We end all of our Thursday practices every week with a 2-minute competitive drill against the defense that gets pretty competitive. It does, and it's kind of the wrap up of the week that we put that situation in to wrap up the week every time. That's the last thing we do before we break practice on Thursday. So we knew having 2 timeouts. They knew the situation. The guys were like, hey, we know how to operate in this situation. We're going to play calm. We actually took it over with about 3 minutes left. So we kind of, was able to get into it, use the 2-minute timeout and those type of things also as well to kind of regroup, went for it. We had to go for it, I think, on 2 4th downs in that drive. And the guys knew exactly what we were going to do and what we were going to call and how to execute it. Know when to get out of bounds, know when to do all those type of things, know when we're going to, hey, now we're going to slow it down. We're inside the red. We got time. And we have timeouts. We can put the ball on the ground and run it a little bit. We can mix and do those things. So that just came through situational, preparation through training camp on through what we do on Thursdays and those type of deals. So they executed that, to a T. And when you're playing, when you want to get into these games and you want to be a team that's capable of playing championship football down the stretch, you got to execute situationally. And we were able to do that.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks, Lynn.
Okay, Coach, next question comes from Dwayne Nash. Dwayne, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Lynn. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Dwayne. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Last week, we discussed the frustrations of being held scoreless in the second half recently. On Saturday, your team produced 2 punts and a turnover on 19 plays in the third quarter. Was there any concern that your program may still be in that second half rut when you were facing Morgan State on Saturday?
Okay, reframe that question again because I really truly didn't understand it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Last week I asked you about being held scoreless in the second half. This past Saturday, you guys were held scoreless and actually were held to 2 punts and a turnover on 19 plays. Were there any concerns that your team still may have been in that second half rut that you've been dealing with in prior weeks recently?
Hey, so let me ask you a question. How many points were scored in the second half? Then?
Oh, for you guys, in the fourth quarter in overtime, 19. No, that's why I was asking if there was any concern, being that you guys were held scoreless in the third.
No, we scored when we needed to do to win the game. That's all
Okay.
that is that we do what we need to have one more point than they do to win the football game. None of those things are concerning. Every time you get the football, you go out, you start a drive. Your intentions is to go score every time. So, and if it so be it that it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, find a way for it to happen the next time. Find a way for it to happen the next possession. Find a way for it to happen the next possession. And in the end, just find a way to win. And we did that. So as long as we're doing that, I'm going to be okay, Dwayne, I promise you.
I love that answer, Coach. Thank you so much. Good luck this week.
Thanks, Dwayne. And now, Coach, question from Ty Miller. Ty.
Hi, Coach. Good morning to you.
Ty, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Coach, can you talk to us about the upcoming game and the importance of getting Walker Harris off his spot and making him uncomfortable?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, really well-coached football team. And here's a guy, who's been in this system, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. He was a guy that sat behind a really good quarterback that was an all-conference guy, all-American type guy, and waited his turn. It's kind of the old way and the old approach to college football, right? There's a true quarterback. You kind of develop wait your time, and then when it's your time, you're ready to go. And here's a guy that's really experienced, done seen it all, been in it all, done it all, executed it all, done all that in a high level. So here's a championship caliber quarterback that you're going to face, and you obviously got to try to change the math. You got to mix up what he's seeing, what he's doing. You got to tackle. You got to keep him in the pocket. You have to play really, really well and really good assignment football to have a chance to beat this guy. So we know what we're getting when he comes in here. And you're right, you got to play good football. That's it, period in the story. And it's not about whether he's on his spot or in a spot or off his spot. He can find people when he scrambles and moves his feet. He can create and do things that way too. So this guy's just not a one-dimensional type guy. And he's got a running back standing next to him that can change the game completely at any point in time. So this is a like I said earlier, a very dangerous team that's, obviously we all know is fully capable of breaking a game open and being a championship team and program. They had a lot of success. And so we can't downplay anything when it comes to this game. We're going to have to play our best football, period, in the story to have a chance to win this game.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Ty. Coach, your final question this morning comes from James Hill. James.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Washington are well. In many cases, these gentlemen have worked hard to get to this point since January and definitely since the summer and even the spring. But now it's here. How the MEAC was won, and you have an opportunity against Central this weekend. Again, just talk a little bit about going into that game, and it makes for a really exciting and really hard-nosed, a really good football game.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what you expect from this conference this time of year. I mean, it's year in and year out. That's what it comes down to, right? Some hard football games too. Teams that we know what it is when you get to this time of year. We're uniquely the only conference in America that plays football that does it this way. So if you're really a football fan and you want to see some really good football and some meaningful football this time of year, you might want to tune into the MEAC because that's what it is week in and week out. It is playoff football, everybody giving you their best shot, playing their best football, and doing those things. So we expect that, each and every week. That's why you have to recalibrate that thing for you guys and slow things down and do some recall, right? I mean, yeah, we talk about how we've been built. You work, like you said, all the way through January, but then you have to go through the body of work of the season and what you learned and grew through in situations like that are built to prepare you, right? That are prepared. As long as you're taking from it what you need to take from it, addressing those things, getting better, being intentional about your preparation and your mindset and mentality towards it all, to build up until this point to where, hey, each day matters and each day builds towards what I want to be at, when it's time to go be and perform and play that way. So everything in the way that we matters. And if you're not willing, a guy that's not willing to make some sacrifices and how you're living off the field right now, be intentional about your preparation and your mindset and mentality toward and rid yourself of some distractions and all those type of things to really have what you want to have. We refer to it around here, hey man, it's a short time for a long time. What are you willing to do to, make sure you're as ready to go as you can be in controlling the controllables, to put yourself individually in the best position to win this football game, which in turn, if everybody's doing that and having that right mindset and having that right approach, the team will be together with that same mentality and approach. And when you do that, sometimes you're really hard to beat. So that's what we want to build and get to and be ready to do against a really good football opponent that knows how to win, that's been here and done that too, with an experienced experienced quarterback, experience on defense with Max and those guys standing in the middle. of their defense. They trust their scheme. They trust their culture. This is going to be a hard fought 4-quarter, maybe beyond football game that we're going to have to be geared up, ready to go.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, James. Coach, that's it for us this week. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck as you get ready for another great football game. It's going to be at DC, at Green Stadium in Washington, D.C. For all of you, Howard's going to be back in action this week as they're going to host North Carolina Central Saturday, November 1st at Green Stadium on the campus of Howard University at 3:30 p.m. kickoff, and ESPN Plus going to carry the game. Thanks a lot, Coach. Our next interview now, we're going to go down to Durham, North Carolina to speak with the North Carolina Central head coach, Trei Oliver. Good morning to you, Coach Oliver.
Good morning, Lynn. How you doing?
Doing good, Coach, doing good. Last week, the Eagles winning the homecoming as the hottest team in the MEAC, and one of the other hot teams in the MEAC was coming to visit, and those were the Hornets of Delaware State, Coach. And what a ball game it was. Two offenses putting up a lot of yards, a lot of points, and the Hornets escape with a win. Coach, let's talk about what were the keys to the game from your perspective.
Definitely. First of all, I'd like to say my thoughts and prayers go out to Grambling State University and T-Set, the quarterback that went down with a rather significant injury this weekend. So I would like to say our thoughts and prayers are with Grambling State University and his family. We had Delaware State come in this weekend. Obviously a very disappointing loss, but we knew they were a very good football team coming here, well-coached football team. And, things we have preached, the basic things that you have to do to win a football game. You have to take care of the football. You have to win the kicking game. And we did not do that. We turned the ball over. We've done a really good job of taking care of the ball all year. And then we get a crazy roughing the punter penalty. And those are 3 extra possessions that you give them. So they were able to possess the ball. We play against really good running teams like that. You have to take advantage of every opportunity and every possession. And they did a really good job of possessing the football and got their running game going. But and then tackling. I didn't think we tackled well at all. But my hats off to Delaware State and Coach Jackson. I thought they came in with a great game plan. And we've got to do better with some in-game and halftime adjustments. And that's on me. That lies squarely on my shoulders. And I've got to do a better job managing the game.
Coach, well, let's turn our attention to this week, Coach. You got to hit the road in another big football game. You got to go to D.C. to play Howard, who seemingly battled back from no man's land to win it in overtime against Morgan. And you got to forget about what happened in Durham and go win it in D.C. to stay in the hunt. So what's your statement? You heard what Coach had to say about your football team. You heard Coach Scott give you a lot of compliments, your leadership, your talent, your quarterback. What is it going to take to make that statement and come out with the W?
I'm sorry about to call Coach Scott and hear that again, because I just got in the room. I missed all of that stuff, but I'll call Coach and let him repeat that. But, it's going to be a dogfight. And whenever we, play Howard, it's usually a physical football game. And, we had some good battles over the years. But I did tell my team yesterday, we lost the football game. It's not the end of the world. And, obviously we talked about we got to win them all. And, it's conference play. But my message to you all is we have to win them all and what it takes to get to the Celebration Bowl. But I don't discuss the Celebration Bowl with my team. We always talk about, this week, stay in the now, and work to get better every week. But obviously, the hurt loss, I told them we're going to put it behind us yesterday. We're not going to be walking around here pouting with our heads down. We lost a football game. And, unfortunately, we haven't lost many around here like that. And we'll be okay. So we're not going to be dropping our heads and all that stuff. But, with Howard, they got to, Coach Scott has a great offensive mind, and you have to be prepared to defend just about anything. So you're going to see a lot of different formations, and they do a really good job of attacking you. So we have to play with great eye discipline this week, and we have to do a better job communicating this week defensively.
Okay, Coach, hold on. We got a list of questions from the media, and we're going to start things off with Nathaniel Henry Jr. Nate. You're on mute, Nate.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning, Nate.
How you doing now? How in terms of approaching this week, what is the mindset of the team at this juncture?
Nothing changes. Nothing changes. We still got to improve at every phase, and nothing changes. I mean, we have the same approach, whether this week as we did last week and the week before. It's about us, and we have to focus on us and just working to get better. in every area, we got to be more efficient and we have to improve. And it was some things that we didn't take advantage of this past weekend. And you can't come back and look at it Sunday saying, we wish you would have done X, Y, and Z. So, big thing is tackling defensively, and then offensively, you just got to take care of the football. And special teams, just don't beat yourself.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, and good luck going into this week's game.
Yeah, thanks, Nate.
All right, Coach. Wayne Cartwright has a question for you. Wayne.
Hey, Coach Oliver. Good to talk to you again, sir.
Hey, Wayne, how you doing, man?
Doing well. So I just want to ask you this week about the human side of losing a game like you did on Saturday. Obviously, the expectations were high headed into the season and also heading into this particular game this week. What is the process, though, that you and your staff personally take to remotivate and reinvigorate those guys and inject energy into that building after a game that was a letdown like this one on Saturday ahead of this week?
We lost a football game. I mean, we still have expectations here. We're still a good football team. Let's not get it twisted. We're a good football team. We lost a football game. So, I mean, the expectations don't change. The energy in the building is just fine. The good Lord woke us up and gave us another day, another week. So we're gonna come here and take the advantage and make the most of it. The energy is fine, staff is fine. I didn't go in there and throw water coolers and curse and all that other stuff. We got to get better. We let one get away from us. But they're my guys. I still love my football team, and we'll work to get better. Unfortunately, we lost a football game. It's not the end of the world.
Well, Coach, I got motivated off that answer, so I appreciate your transparency and good luck this week against Howard.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks for that, Wayne. James Hill, you're on.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone on campus are well. How's it going?
I'm well, James. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Talk a little bit about the opportunities ahead. Again, there can actually be co-champions. There's a lot of scenarios that can play out over the next few weeks for postseason play. But I know you just focus on, going up to DC this week. But just talk about the outcomes can be fruitful.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't know. I can't think that far ahead. People talk about going 1-0 and so on and so forth. I don't know our schedule. We got Howard this week. After the game, he's talked about preparing for next week. I didn't even know who he had. So I don't, it's all about Howard. I don't know who we have next. We played one conference game. And, everybody want to talk about championship, Celebration Bowl. It's so much football left to play. So again, I don't talk about things until it's time to talk about things. I don't talk about my guys in the NFL until it's time to talk about the NFL. When I see guys preparing for it and changing their bodies and making plays like they're, have capability of going to the league, then we'll sit down and talk about the NFL. But I'm not going to sit here and talk to a freshman or a sophomore about NFL. I'm not going to talk to my team about Celebration Bowl in week 7. There's a whole lot of football left to play. We're going to sit here and talk about Howard University.
Good luck this week, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, James.
All right, Coach, next question comes from Perry Daniels. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning, Lynn. Thank you. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry.
Coach, let's go back to Saturday and last week in general. I want to find out how much your culture of homecoming impacted your execution of scheme on the field.
Not at all. I mean, we played in big venues and large crowds before. We played Southern in the MEAC Challenge. We played in big games. I mean, that had no bearing on the football game. We played a good football team, and they had a very good coaching staff, and they beat us. Bottom line. And homecoming was not an excuse. We have no excuses. We lost a football game.
Fair enough. Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, Coach, Dwayne Nash is up now with a question for you.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm well, Dwayne. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Last week, I asked you if things were coming too easy for your offense, only for your offense to get held to 10 points in the first half this past Saturday, which is a rarity. Being held to 10 points or less in the first half has only happened 3 times this year. Can you talk to us about what Delaware State did defensively in order to be so effective against your team?
They did a good job of tackling. And, I thought Walker did a decent job of managing the game in the first half. I think we were a little conservative in the first half. We probably should take them a few more shots downfield. But you know, they did a good job, you know, stopping the run. They were where they were supposed to be, and they weren't giving up explosive plays. They played sound football.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck this week on Georgia Avenue.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Coach, your next question comes from Doc Holliday from HBCU Overdrive. Doc.
Coach Oliver, how you doing this morning?
I'm well, Doc.
All right. What's the thing? When did you tell Chris Mosley the last play where he fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line, and what did you tell him as far as like trying to keep his head up after that play?
That was it. Keep your head up. I love you. We're gonna be all right. That was it. I mean, one play did not lose that game for us. And you know, Mosley has carried us, and then he's been a big part of our success here. So I'm not gonna rip the kid and everything because he had fumbled the ball. Obviously, you know, he was disappointed. He know he messed up. I didn't need to go over there and, you know, yell at him or rip him or anything like that. I just went over there, put my arm around him, told him it's gonna be all right. We're gonna shake back.
I appreciate you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Doc. Darryl Duvall, you're on.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm well. Good morning. How you doing?
Pretty good. I don't know if you might have answered this question already, but with the MEAC race underway now, how do you balance urgency and stay true to your process and avoiding that one game hangover?
Like I said, we put it behind us. You know, after the game is over, whether we win or lose, you know, we put it to bed Sunday after the practice, and then Sunday evening we get started on the next team. But our process doesn't change. Our culture doesn't change. Whatever we do here does not change. We lost the football game. I'm not going to start from square one and throw everything we've accomplished away because we lost the football game. I mean, we're going to be okay. We have a good football team. We stubbed our toe, lost the game.
Well, good luck, Coach, this weekend, and look forward to watching that game.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Darryl. On to you, Ty Miller.
Hi, Coach Oliver.
Hey, what's up, Ty?
I'm good. Coach, how you doing? So I just want to talk to you about what you mentioned when you spoke with Lynn about tackling. We see it in high school, we see it in college, and also see it in the pros where there's a lot of poor tackling. So is it desire, and how do you go about fixing that going forward to Howard?
Several things depending on the situation, the tackle that the guys are the type tackle. Some of it is angles, taking a bad angle and not tracking the ball carrier's hip. Or sometimes if the ball carrier has a two-way go, you got to take the air out of it, take the space out of it, and then come to balance. And you can't get top heavy and lunge. And a lot of times that's what we were doing Saturday. We got a little top heavy, and we were diving for feet. So we got to stay up, and we got to put our chest on people, wrap up, and rally to the ball. Obviously, getting more ass to the football, but you got to just put your chest on folks and bring your feet with you.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
So that was a little mini clinic on tackling. Thanks for that.
I ain't gonna charge you for that, Lynn.
Well, we'll get Steve Gaither to wrap it up for you, Coach. Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, good. So we got that out the way. Coach, yeah, you know, we talked in the summer and you talk, you know, pretty much every year about how that one game can get you. Now that you guys kind of have that out of the way, do you think that kind of got lost in the shuffle, or do you think now it's just more amplified?
Do I think what got lost in the shuffle?
You talked about how at the start of the season, one game, one bad half can get you. Do you think that's what that was, and how do you rebound from that?
We played a good football team that had a good game plan. So, shoot, we played. The kids played hard. You know, I was pleased with our effort, and it's a very tough conference, a lot of parity in this conference. And I saw on film, and I came for last week and said this is a much improved team. It's much improved. They're a very good, well-coached football team. So it didn't surprise me they were going to come in here and play as well. And, you know, they made more plays than we did. I take my hat off to them.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this week.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Coach, thanks. That's it for us today. I know you got work to do, so we'll let you go, okay? For all of you, North Carolina Central is on the road this week to face the Howard Bison. That's going to be Saturday, November 1st at Green Stadium in D.C. on the campus of Howard University. 3:30 kickoff on ESPN+. Our next interview is with Delaware State head coach DeSean Jackson. We'll go to Dover right now. Good morning to you, Coach Jackson.
Hey, good morning, Lynn. How you doing?
We're doing good, Coach. Your Hornets had momentum going into Durham, and you used it to make a statement in your 35-26 win over the Eagles. Coach, congrats to the Hornets and to you on your first MEAC win. Now, we knew the Hornets were a ball control team with the running game, but over 200 yards and 3 TDs in the air, that was the clincher to control the clock, the tempo, and the scoreboard. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man, it was a great battle, man. Shots off to North Carolina Central, man. We went in a hostile environment. We knew what the expectations was on our end. We knew it was going to be a tough fought, physical battle. I think they did a great job. For us, we always have the main thing be the main thing, right? We wanted to go 1-0. We wanted to come in there and obviously show the world what we're capable of doing. And I feel like we did a great job. We played 3 phases of football. The first half was a very tight first half. It was, 10-7. Second half, we came out and scored right away. We went up 21-10, and obviously they came back and took the lead in the third quarter. But, throughout that whole game, man, our guys just showed character, man. They showed, how physical they could be. They showed how hungry they wanted to be. And, we was able to come out of a hostile environment and get a win. So it was a big first game, but obviously, it's a lot of ball left to play.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Coach. A lot of ball left to play, including some ball this Thursday night at the Lincoln Philly. You know that place well, and you know a lot about the Spartans. Norfolk State, Michael Vick, the coach, very well. You've seen this team on tape. The notion normally is to judge a team by their 1-7 record, but they are really only a few plays from being a 500 ball club. So what's your take on the Spartans and Thursday night in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah, man. We don't get caught up in records, man. We know Michael Vick's gonna have them guys riled up. They've been playing some good style of football. Just the ball hasn't really, fell their way in some of those games. But I just know the character of type of guy Michael Vick is. He's going to have them ready once again. He's going to have them riled up. We're back at home where we scored a lot of touchdowns. This game is going to mean a lot. I'm excited about going down and letting, my players have an opportunity to show, what their skill level is in front of the world and, in Philadelphia. So we'll just prepare how we need to prepare. It's a short week. Quick turnaround. We practice today. We usually don't practice today. So, just getting the guys to, forget about last week and move on to the next week. But we'll be ready on Thursday.
Okay, Coach, we got some questions coming from the media. Let's get ready for the media. Use the raise hand feature. Remember to unmute yourself and then take the feature down once you're through. Wayne Cartwright, you're on.
Thank you, Lynn. Hey, good morning, Coach Jackson. How are you, sir?
Hey, Wayne, man, I'm doing good. Yourself? How you doing?
Doing well, man. So congrats on a big win for your program. And with that big win, obviously you guys know that you're probably going around. You got a lot of things that you have to avoid. People tapping you on the back, telling you how good you are and talking about Atlanta and different things like that. You always talk about how you keep the main thing, the main thing. But in keeping the main thing, especially this week on this short week, what is the process that you and the staff are taking specifically with each position group as you get ready for Thursday?
Well, I mean, good question, man. I always tell my guys all the time, man, we can never get, too content, no complacency. We got to always drive the needle and going upward. This week we have a great style of, we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna go into the week and not add too much add too much game plan. We just got to be ready, dialed in, and be ready to play a football game. We're going to work. We're going to do our preparation like always. We're going to detail it up, but we're not going to try to go throw in the whole game plan and try to add all these crazy. We just got to keep it simple and just go play a great form of football. But the opportunity presents itself. Every opportunity we have to get to play a football game, we're going to be prepared, right? And we're not going to get too caught up in we just won a good game. We never done it. Getting pats on the back. Like I told you guys always, man, my mental and what we're doing here and my coaching staff and these players, man, we're hungry. We're hungry for more. And we want to show the world what we're capable of doing because we feel like we're a dangerous team. Nothing changes, win, lose, or draw. We're going to always still feel the same way. So, we'll be ready. We'll prepare. We'll detail our work and, we'll be excited to play in front of a hostile, hopefully, it's supposed to be 40,000 plus. So hopefully they on our side and, they fans at Delaware State because it's our home game.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll be watching on ESPNU Thursday. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for that, Wayne. Perry Daniels, you're on.
Coach Jackson.
What's up, Perry? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, sir. I just came on to apologize to you, your staff, the Delaware State fan base for ever questioning your ability to have that team prepared for the environment that you went in. I was a little concerned when you referenced your experience at going into the University of Oregon, comparing that to what you were going to face in Durham.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that environment in Durham and how you were able to be successful, sir.
I mean, I really feel this way, man. How I was raised and how I grew up, and the men that raised me, man, they prepared me for anything in life, and it just contests to my role. Even when I was playing back in, when I was young, growing up in Los Angeles, going to play in Long Beach, obviously going to Cal, to Philadelphia and all these other places I didn't play at. I just feel comfortable in any environment. I feel like my thick skin, being raised in Los Angeles, California, and being, put in positions I was in when I was young, just helped me throughout my career playing and now coaching. So when I say put me in whatever environment, man, I'm comfortable. I'm gonna come out swinging all the time. Durham, man, it was a great experience, man. I love the culture, man. Playing football when I was young, I never got to experience the black college, the HBCUs. I wish I could have experienced it. Not to say I wish I'd have went to HBCU, but just knowing me. I love the culture. I love our people. I love to see us support. I love us to all come together. And man, that's good. That's what you want to see, in the black culture. But we went out, man, and back against the wall. We had a whole lot of burgundy and silver, whatever color. It was a whole lot of it, man. They stands was right close to us. Their fans was talking during the game. We had a long walk to the stadium. So I mean, they shut off one gate and said, "Now y'all got to go all the way down the other way." So I mean, it was cool, man. Those type of environments is what I love for, man, because you go in there, you take a team in there, man, you work hard. And, man, for you to go out and get a victory, man, it just feels that much better. So, I tip my hat off to North Carolina. Trey Oliver, they did a great job. And it was a battle. I would tell you there's not one time in that game, even towards the last 30 seconds, where I wasn't figuring, like, man, the game ain't over. We got to finish this ball game. And even my center just was like, "Coach, the game ain't over. We got to make sure we locked in." So, as you seen, they drove all the way down there. It's about to score before Mosley fumbled. But I just like my guys, man. I'm comfortable with my guys. I made some, in my eyes, and even some of my coaches' eyes, I made some crazy, gutsy calls on fourth down a few times in that game, and man, it came out for us, man. That's what really won us that game. If you go back and look at it.
Well, Coach, we tip our hats to you and your staff and your players, and good luck this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Perry.
Okay, thanks for that, Perry. Chris Stevens.
Thanks, Lynn. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey, Steve. Chris, how you doing, man? I'm good.
People call me Steve all the time. It's no problem.
Yeah, Chris, Steve, you got two first names.
I get that all the time. Believe me. You mentioned the gutsy call. I want to talk about one gutsy call in particular. Is one play where in the fourth quarter, before Marquis scores the insurance touchdown, they have to be expected to run. And Caden throws this beautiful ball that EJ Core catches and takes like 50 yards down the field. Just talk about what kind of, chess game you're playing with Central at that point to make that call and how exciting it was to see that call pay off.
I mean, first off, they packed the box and they knew that. Everybody in the world knows we're going to run the ball. We do it well. And they did a great job of, up front, getting it to our fronts and, plugging holes, plugging the gaps. And, just throughout the game, and I talk about KB all the time. Caden Bennett, our quarterback, man, he came to show up this past week. But, it was just a few looks as you see coming out the halftime. We had fake. It was an RPO run set. They came down and we was able to hit an IG lolly over the middle. But, going back to that call, it was a design run play with an RPO pass into it, right? So, they came down again and EJ Core, man, it was crazy because the first window was clogged up. So he had to kind of wait. And then as you see, he kind of lobbed it over. And man, it was like, I'm watching that ball slowly. And it's like it made it and he caught it and ran. I tell EJ, man, you're supposed to score, but he don't got the speed. But now, man, it just shows, man, our offensive coordinator, man, our quarterback, we put him in great positions, man. You can't be wrong in this offense. And I'm humbly saying this, you can't be wrong because depending on what the defense do, you can't be in every position. We have multiple reads. We have a run. We have a pass. And our quarterback can run with his legs as well, too. So just depends on what the defense calls. If he makes the right read, man, it's literally you know, at any given time that something should be open.
Thanks for your time as always, Coach. Best of luck on Thursday.
Sir, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Chris. James Hill, you're up next.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on all of your success. How are you this morning?
Hey, James, I'm good, man. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The impact of coaches and the defining moments along the way, right? We know about the journey that got you here, and now you're coming into the MEAC making noise. A very fruitful opportunity at Central, and now there's another great opportunity this week, a short week in Philadelphia. It should be a beautiful sight. But talk about this week, what that looks like. Michael Vick, yourself, the fans, Philly. It should be a great episode of HBCU football.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm excited for the opportunity. Every game we have a chance to play and get on in between those white lines. You know, I'm excited for the opportunity. It's crazy because before these games, you know, I sit back and, you know, I'm antsy. It feels like I'm about to play a game, you know, and I didn't know I was going to be in a sense where like feeling a certain way playing and actually playing and then feeling a certain way coaching. And now it's like I can't even go be a part of the game. But, you know, from a mental aspect, it's like, you know, I'm dialed in. So I'm saying all that to say, man, like whenever you get that chance to put that ball down on in between those lines and compete, man, like, you know, anytime I'm involved or anybody that has anything to do with me is involved, we're going to be ready, you know, and that's just our mindsets, man. We, you know, we respect this game and we respect the game by, you know, detailing the work throughout the week. There's never a time where I feel like, you know, we can't practice at a high level and have intensity and energy and effort and be able to go be successful. You know, I know what it feels like. I'm big on energy. So, you know, today was a good day of practice. Like I told my guys, we got to get better. You know, we have one more physical day of work. And then, you know, Wednesday we'll get on the bus and head down to Philadelphia and get ready, you know, for a game on Thursday. But, you know, this game has a lot of, you know, parameters built around it, right? We've been talking about this game for a long time and people's always been asking about this game. And I've been trying to tell them we got 7 games before this game. So let's not get too focused on this one game on October 30th. But, you know, I think, yeah, this one's for the records right here, man. And hopefully we take care of business like I know we need to do.
All right, Coach. Have a blessed week. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, on to Doc Holliday now. Doc.
I ain't answering no questions from you, Doc. I ain't got my head yet.
Hey man, you got to see me the address. you got to see me the address, man. But look, going into this game against Central, everybody was keyed in on stopping the run, but Caden Benton showed that he could actually throw the ball down the field, especially with 3 bombs to Nigel Lally, where he had over 150 yards in the game. But let's talk about the last play, the last sequence of the game where Chris Mosley is going in trying to get that tough 1 yard to get the touchdown, and then I don't know if it was Brian Bates who caused the fumble, but it kind of sent the team into, you know, a euphoria. And afterwards, after the game, getting your guys off the field, you go towards the school president and your AD and basically saying that they, you know, celebrating on the sideline that this is my coach right here. How did it feel to actually to get a win like that? And now what is the feeling as far as going into a short week, going into a Thursday night game against Norfolk State?
Yeah. But going back to, you know, the Mosley, the run, I mean, he broke. He was out, you know, and at the end of the day, like, even going back to the possession before that when we was kneeling the ball, and they took, you know, I think 3 consecutive timeouts. It left us with like 20-something, 30 seconds left. You know, have my punter, you know, run out of bounds and obviously get the, you know, the safety. At that point, we was up 11 points, right? So I knew the game wasn't over, but, you know, I'm just trying to take a knee, get out there with the W. You know, they prolonged it. You know, we had to take the safety. Obviously, we kicked off to them, and they came down and dang near scored. But at that point in time, we was up 9 points, right? So I knew it was still a 2-possession game, right? So even if they scored a 2-point conversion, at that point it would have been less than 10 seconds left. It would have been had to be something dang near impossible to happen, right? So after that game, you know, I had to make sure I went to go the middle field and shake, you know, Coach Oliver's hands, but I didn't want our players to get in no type of altercations. I didn't want no fights. So I was instructing them to just get off the field because I know this was going to be a big week. You know, we've been preparing for this week. So I just didn't want none of my guys to make any bonehead mistakes and get thrown out that game. So that was my thinking on that. Obviously, when I was greeted by our president and the first lady, his wife, I mean, you know, they was just happy. I don't think, you know, since he's been here, I think this was his first MEAC win. So just the excitement, you know, the AD, everybody, I mean, just, you know, them picking me to be in this position, you know, for us to have some success, you know, even though, you know, we haven't had the success that I want. Because at the end of the year, you know, that's the thing. The goal is to win the trophy, right? We won a few games, so be it. But, you know, my job is not done until I bring a championship here. And that's what I said from day one, man. I really feel like it's a real possibility, but we still have to do the work. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get too caught up in a game. We won one game. It's a great game, but we still got a lot of football left, right? So in a short week, how do we flush that down the toilet and just look for the opportunity? And you know, one thing I would say about my team, we have a very well mature team. And, you know, I just feel like they feel the disrespect all year. You know, we've been, you know, doubted. And I just feel like, man, these guys just, they take it on the chin, man, and they embrace it, man, because they know what we are capable of doing, man. So it just really shows when you see us play and you see our passion and our energy, man, it just shows we just want to prove everybody that, you know, we're better than people thought.
All right, Coach, appreciate you. I'll get with you offline, man.
I need my hat, dog. LA hat looking good right there. Still there, man.
It's still there.
All right, baby. Appreciate you, Doc.
All right.
Thanks, Doc. On to you, Daryl Duvall. Daryl.
Good morning, Coach. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you, Daryl. How you doing?
All right. Hey, I just want to kind of go back to, you talk about, you know, well, you also said bonehead mistakes on in previous games, but, you know, your team is starting to gel. And from a culture and leadership standpoint, what message do you take from this game that your players should internalize as you head into the stretch run?
Great question, man. I just feel like, man, everything we did in that game on Saturday, man, just it contests to, you know, the expectations, the standards. You're starting to see players play together for one another. They're putting their bodies on the line. You know, they're making plays when they're supposed to make the plays. When their numbers is called, they're making the plays that they have to make for us to win football games. You know, the brotherhood, man, is coming together a lot faster than, you know, maybe a lot of people even thought. But, you know, I knew I had a job, and the job that I had coming into this scenario was not no easy job. It was a tough task, but, you know, that was my career. My whole career was tough, right? You know, I didn't come into the NFL with all this glitz and glamour. Even though I was projected to be a first round, I slipped to the second round, right? For whatever reasons. But, you know, the same way I did, the mindset I had playing is the same mindset that I have coaching, man. And I feel like my guys feed off of it. You know, I can go back to that meeting we had Friday night, man, at the hotel. You know, what I'm pouring into my players, man, is just they're accepting it, man, and they're putting it on the line for me, man, because at the end of the day, we're going to put it on the line for them. So it's just really showing, man, the message from the top to the bottom, man, is just being received, and guys are going out and putting it all on the line and playing for one another. You muted.
Hey,
Thanks
good
so
luck.
much,
Good luck this week, Coach. Sorry about that.
The next question comes, Coach, from Dwayne Nash. Dwayne.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Dwayne.
All right. Now that Delaware State has beaten a pretty good program during their homecoming, and Coach, I don't know if you knew this, this is the first time that Delaware State has won in Durham since I was 2. And
1977, baby.
1977. I turned 52 weeks ago. You guys are now dealing with what I like to call the Tupac mentality, now that all eyes are on you guys. This is a place that Delaware State hasn't been in almost 20 years. So how do you deal with preparing your players with this mentality of potentially being the hunted versus being the overlooked earlier this year?
Hey, man, Dwayne, you sound like the lady was trying to ask me a question last week, man. I can't fall into the trap, man. At the end of the day, you know, our expectations are our expectations, and they always will remain the same, regardless of anybody else's opinion, because you know, whoever that opinion is not here on an everyday basis with us, you know. So from my perspective, you know, we got a great group of guys, man, that's willing to be challenged, right? They're willing to go out and put in the work, and they're willing to do it a certain way. You know, my challenge for my team early on was the discipline side of it, and we've cleaned it up. And I think, you know, the challenge is now, hey, we got to go out week in and week out and be the best we can to a man, right? And we're doing that. So for us, I mean, nothing changes as well, right? Like even you know, hearing coaches, when you lose, right, the message still remain the same. When you win, the message will still remain the same. You can't change nothing in your detail and your preparation of work. Like regardless of, you know, the scoreboard, you know, to a man, you just have to have character. You have to have grit. You have to have principles, right? And you know, the intangibles to be a championship team. Hey, it's gonna be tough. At halftime, when we was down 7-10 at halftime, I told my guys, hey, that's a hell of a team we playing right there. It didn't nobody say it was gonna be tough. I mean, didn't nobody say it was gonna be easy, right? We was in a tough out battle. And you know, I just tip my hat out to my guys, man, because they came out there in that environment, and as you see, man, they went out there and balled, man, and I tip my hat out to my guys.
All right, thanks, Coach, and good luck this week up in Philly on Thursday.
Right. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Coach. The next question comes from Stephen Gaither. Steve.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good, Steve. How you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Want to talk about your coach, your offensive coordinator, Nemo Washington. Just talk about, you know, how you got him on the staff and what he's brought as a bright young play caller to your program.
Man, energy, man. Nemo Washington, man. Boy, if you could put a camera on him 24/7, well, I think a lot of y'all be like, man, this dude crazy, man. But it just shows, man, our offense is playing off his energy, man. You know, he goes out to practice and he treats every time we have an opportunity to practice, he's treating it like a game. He got a killer mentality, man. I think to be a successful offensive coordinator, a successful coach, you have to have a killer mentality, right? You know, we always talk about controlled chaos, right? We invite the chaos, but we want to be controlled, you know. And this violent game, is crazy as it sounds, you got to have an edge, and whatever your edge is to win football games, you got to carry that, and he carries that to, you know, to the staff. I mean, you know, at practice, he's talking stuff to our defensive coordinator, our assistant head coach. I mean, like we compete as coaches, so there's no other reason for our players not to feed off us. When they see their coaches compete at the highest level, it makes it that much easier for the players. But you know, Nemo, man, he was brought to me by Deuce Staley, who's a mentor, big brother to me. He coached me when I played in the league. I'm in Philadelphia, and you know, he had called me and was like, man, you in the coaching. I said, man, I got an offensive coordinator for you, man. And you know, I trusted and believed in him. I had a few interviews with Nemo, man, and he was the perfect fit for us, man. But it just shows, man, that what he's doing this year, man, our offense, the #1 rushing offense in FCS, all of football, you know, like, I mean, it's, you know, we got Eugene Chung, we got Penn Portis. It's not only just Nemo Washington, man. It just contests to all the guys that I put around him, man. And you know, we're doing a great job. Like, we love this, and you know, our standard is very high, man. We're not coaching like we're at a HBC. We're coaching like we're at a Power 4 or Power 5. You know, so I mean, that's how we're able to have our success.
No doubt. He used to do some work for me, so I'm super proud of him. Good stuff there. Good luck this week.
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks, Steve. Andy Walter, you're up.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Andy, I'm good, man.
All right. Hey, you and Coach Vick have been friends for a long time. You know, I'm sure you talk regularly. But
Coach Vick, he's not my friend this week, man. I love him to death, but I can't be his friend this week.
Well,
Go ahead, finish the question.
I was going to say, how is this week different, and how do you think it'll be going up against him?
I don't have it when it's time to go to war, man. I don't have friends, man. That's just I'm an even kill man. You know, like I said, I love him to death. That's my brother. But this week, man, I can't talk nothing good about him right now, man. He's on the other side, and he's the opponent. He's my op right now. But you know, it'll be a very hostile environment for those 3 hours, and then after the game, I'm gonna give him a big hug and probably wrestle him down to the ground, win, lose, or draw. But you know, I'm focused this week, man. It's a Delaware State thing, man. We're locked in at the job at task right now, and that's to go out and win a football game.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
All right, on to Ernest Ricks. Ernest.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the great win. I wanted to know, what did you learn about yourself as a coach during this game, during your first game in the MEAC?
I mean, really just, I don't know what I learned about myself. That's a hard question to answer. You know, Oh, I'll tell you, yeah. So I got my assistant over here telling me I learned I need to drink more electrolytes, man, and put more, water and Gatorade in my system because I damn near cramped up the last 2 minutes of the game, man, just because I'm exerting so much energy. But yeah, man, I'm just having fun, man. I'm just having fun coaching, and I already feel like I found my passion doing this.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Brandon King, good morning to you.
Good morning. How you doing? How you doing, Coach?
What's going on, B? I'm good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Congratulations on the latest W. Wanted to ask you. Obviously you took over a program that took its lumps over the past couple of seasons, and when you come in, obviously changing the culture and getting that buy-in is one of the most important factors to turning a program around. As you've been around your team, as you've been on this journey in your first year, was there a flashpoint or a watershed moment where you noticed that the buy-in happened, that the culture started to change or shift, or has it been more of a gradual process as the season has played out?
Yeah, I mean, it's really been a gradual process. I think still to this day. I mean, we're still navigating through things. I think it just goes to the young generation now, man. These young dudes are a little different. They was raised a little different. They drinking a little different water, I guess. But it's a challenge. It definitely is a challenge. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like it's smooth sailing, but I enjoy the challenge, right? And I enjoy the process as well too. Because coming in since day one to see where we're at right now, it's night and day. It's a culture change. It's a culture shock. And some of these guys obviously weren't my handpicked guys, but they're changing into becoming that, right? And the guys that we did bring in obviously were our type of guys because that's who we went out and picked. But it's just guys embracing the normal, the new normal, being able to do things that's uncomfortable for them, practice habits, standards, as far as how hard we practice, our tempo, our philosophy. It's just a lot of things that some of these guys just weren't used to, and it just took time for them to get adjusted to it and to buy into the system. But I think now with the few games we won and the success we had, it makes it a little more easier, and it makes it a little easier when you have guys that's been successful playing it and coaching it as well too, because the information that we're giving them, like we know, we have the stats and the statistics that is proven. So if you want to go here and this is where you want to go, hey, everybody may not make it to the NFL, but it has to look a certain way. So I just think they're just overall buying in and just trusting in the process.
Well, thanks for that insight, Coach, and good luck this week.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Okay, thanks for that. Final question for you comes from Kevin Trezzolini. Kevin.
Thank you. Hey, DeSean, you were beginning your second year with the Eagles in 2009 when Michael Vick arrived. What were your first impressions of Michael, and did you guys hit it off pretty quickly as teammates, knowing you guys could certainly do some damage together on the football field?
Man, for sure, man. Michael Vick was, a childhood hero for me, man. He's, always been one of my favorite quarterbacks to ever play the game. When I had the opportunity to know he was going to come play for us, I remember it was like yesterday. Coach Andy Reid, I think, called me. He called me, LaShawn McCoy, and I think Jeremy Macklin into the office and asked, we got a chance to get Michael Vick. What do y'all think about if we get him? And I said, man, what are you talking about? Like, this is my favorite quarterback ever. Like, heck yeah, I would love to play for Michael Vick. But, just the memories, man, over the years, the things we, built and established on the football field, all hands down, I feel like he's one of the best quarterbacks I ever played with. I had the most fun playing with Michael Vick. The plays, the 80-yard bombs. I mean, the Dallas, the touchdown, 91-yard. I mean, it's just so many memories that we've created on the field, man. And, it's great to get an experience to go down, and now we're coaching on opposite sidelines and to coach. To coach a game where we played all these years. So, it's a lot riding on this game. That's why I know I'm going to be tuned in and I'm be ready to go, man, because, it's the first time ever, I think, two coaches that played together on the same team or coaching versus each other at their home field.
Much thanks, Coach. I'll see you Thursday night.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Kev.
Hey, Coach Jackson, thanks so much for your time. I know you got a whole lot of stuff to get done in a short period of time, so we're going to let you go.
Thank you,
but thanks a lot. And best of luck this week as Delaware State will host Norfolk State this Thursday night at the Link, Philadelphia. It's going to be a nationally televised game, 7:02 kickoff on ESPNU. And you heard a lot about Norfolk State, so we're going to go to Norfolk now and have a chat with the head football coach of the Spartans, Coach Michael Vick. Good morning to you, Coach Vick. Are you there?
How you doing?
Good morning, Coach. You had homecoming this past weekend in Norfolk, and you jumped out to an early lead over the defending champs, but you couldn't hold on to it. And Coach, but clearly, as you change the culture, you are seeing something to build upon. What did you see this week that you have to build upon in your first week of MEAC conference play?
I'd seen that, we definitely got to be able to play 4 quarters of football. That's what this game is all about. Even though you come out, you jump out to a 7-point lead or score first and take the momentum, you got to keep it going. And I think it's for us, and our players to understand that you got to keep your foot on the pedal. You can't take it off. It's going to be 4 quarter games each and every week. And I try to preach that, and they got to buy into that. They got to know that that's what the game is all about. It's all about durability. It's all about endurance. And the minute you take your foot off the pedal, somebody else will put theirs down. So, a lesson learned in a lot of phases for this football team.
Coach, well, now you gotta flush that one. And you got a short week to get ready to head to Philly to play the red hot Delaware State Hornets in a city that you know so well against one of your former teammates. You heard him talking about you. You heard him talking about the relationship. Tell us about the job you think DeSean Jackson is doing with the Hornets, and then tell us, what do you think the Spartans are going to have to do to get the W this Thursday night?
Yeah, DeSean is doing a great job. As you can see, they play together. They believe. They're united. That was one of the things that Andy Reid instilled into us, and that's the things that we had as a unit when we was in Philadelphia, and why we was able to win so many games. We believed, we trusted. We had discipline, when at the right times and when we needed to have it. And so we respected the game. So DeSean is doing a great job in that department, on top of when they step out in between the lines. They showing that, they're not the same team from the past, and he's definitely changed the culture where he's at. So for us to win this game this week, it's gonna have to be 4 quarters. We're gonna have to come to play. We're gonna have to have a different mindset, first and foremost, because it's on a big stage, and it's a great opportunity for both sides, for us and Delaware State. And guys got to step up to the challenge. That's what it's all about. That's why we put them in this position, to be able to rise to the occasion.
Okay, Coach. Well, we wish you nothing but the best of luck. Hold on just for a few. We've got a couple of questions for you. We're going to start with going over to James Hill. James.
Hey, Coach Vick. I hope you and everyone in the 7 cities are well. How are you today, sir?
Hanging in there. Just trying to get back to work. Trying to turn the page. But I had to turn the page.
Yes, sir, my man. Okay, great opportunity this week. It's a short week, Thursday night, Philadelphia, the big stage, as you say. We know about the fans in Philly. You get an opportunity to bring HBCU football, Norfolk playing Dale State, DeSean, yourself, the impact of coaches, Coach Reid. Just talk about this environment and what this can look like this week. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's just a great opportunity for us in Delaware State to just play on ESPNU. This is what it's all about. And, even though these guys don't get a chance to do this on this type of stage, it's an opportunity that's been presented. I remember when DeSean first reached out to me about it, I was kind of skeptical, because I'm like, I don't know if that can even happen. But, he stayed on top of it. We kept talking through it, kept connecting with the right people, and it was able to happen. So, I want, our guys to know that this is something that, it don't normally happen, and so, to play in a NFL stadium, probably a great crowd on national television, it's just an honor, and they gotta appreciate that, and hopefully this will serve well for us, in the future, as we continue to try to build the programs.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too.
The next question, Coach, comes from Andy Walter. Andy.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
How you doing, Andy?
All right. Hey, way back when you first joined the Eagles, what did you think of DeSean? And if somebody had told you you'd end up being head coaches against each other, what would you have thought?
Yeah, first off, going to Philadelphia, when I first got there, I mean, I wasn't a starter, so having a chance to watch DeSean on the sideline, being the number 2 quarterback, you just think about all the things that you can do with him as a quarterback. And, being a backup, I didn't think I would be there long. So, I never thought I would be playing with DeSean. And, part of the reason I was comeback player of the year in 2010 is because I had nothing but confidence in him. He had nothing but confidence in himself. He was a very unselfish player, which made me gravitate to him. He was the type that he didn't need the ball. He wanted the ball, but he didn't need it. As long as we won, he would be happy. And I tell everybody that story, and that was his attitude. And so, I played with some amazing players who, had the fight in them and just wanted to win, most important. So, it always helped me feed. I was always able to feed off that. And if you would have told me, at that time, or, even in our, 2012, 2013 years, that we would be coaching in 10 years, 10, 12 years against each other, I would have told you was a lie. This is something that, I never envisioned myself doing. But, it's part of God's calling and enjoying it every day, even through the tough times. I appreciate the position and just look forward to the growth in the process.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Great question. Ernest Ricks, you're on.
Hey, Coach.
Hey,
How you doing today?
I'm good.
I'm doing well. Coach, was there, you mentioned, things that you saw in DeSean Jackson. Coach, was there anything that you saw in his game that you now see translated into his coaching or his approach to coaching?
Yeah, I just think the attitude. DeSean was a guy that, man, he didn't back down from nothing. And he'll know why I say this. I seen him in a lot of different moments. And I just know he, very courageous, from his background and, how he came up. I know his family, I know DeSean, through and through. So DeSean is a fighter. And so he's going to be himself. And that translates too, so, and seeing him and getting to know him over the years, like, even when we played, it was just, he was one of the guys that when I walked into the locker room every day, being an older guy, I look forward to seeing him, spending time with. We might not have hung out together because I was probably 10 years his senior at the time. But, it was guys like DeSean and MEAC and the Shady, they kept me young. And so I appreciated those times in Philadelphia because of them. So I see the attitude. I know what he brings. I know his, I know he has a zero tolerance policy in a lot of areas. And I respect that even when he was young.
I appreciate you, Coach. Good luck this Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, your final question this morning comes from Dwayne Nash. Dwayne.
Thanks, Lynn. Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hanging in there. Thank you.
All right. Now, I hear coaches quite often say when they're in situations like you're going to be on Thursday night, that this is a wonderful opportunity to have your players play not only in front of a national television audience, but in an NFL stadium. Now, for your guys that were there in Norfolk last year, they had an opportunity to do both, but in separate occasions with the MEAC SWAC Challenge, which was a nationally televised game, and then they played in the Circle City Classic out in Indianapolis. So I have to ask, is there any type of preparation that needs to be done with players that haven't been in this situation? Or is there any message that you relay to guys to help them get ready to play not only in front of the lights, but playing inside of a stadium that they hope to play in if they have the opportunity to go pro?
Yeah, I think, every kid's dream is to play in the NFL stadium. You just never know when it's going to happen. I just hope this is an opportunity for the next generation to look and see what's happening. Hopefully players that'll be playing for us in the future to see that, opportunity is being presented, at every turn. And that's what this is about. hopefully our players who've been there before appreciate it. The ones who haven't really appreciate it even more. And football can do some great things for you in your life. And this is one of those experiences that if you really love the game, you go out there and you take advantage of them. You have fun. You lay it all out in the line, and your family's gonna be watching. Friends gonna be watching, and you put forth your best effort. So hopefully this is an experience that not only our players can grow from, but the players is watching can feel like they can be a part of in the future.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck this week up in Philly.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys. And Coach, we know you're in the middle of a short week and game prep, so we're going to let you get out of here. Wishing you nothing but the best of luck and safe travels on to Philadelphia. Hey, it's going to be a 7:02 kickoff. Norfolk State versus Delaware State, Thursday, October 30th at the Link in Philadelphia. Let's turn our attention now to Orangeburg, South Carolina. Next interview is with South Carolina State head football coach Chennis Berry. Good morning to you, Coach Berry.
Good morning, Lynn. How you doing today, man?
Good, man. Good. Somebody asked a question that say the Bulldogs found themselves down 7-0 early in Norfolk, and then who let the dogs out? Because they erupted for 631 yards of total offense. Quarterback William Atkins IV had a field day leading the offense with 4 TD passes. And that left you guys with 1-0 in the MEAC. And that's your goal. So let's take a look back at the game now.
Well, super proud of our young men, man. We had the right mindset. We knew what was at stake. Preseason was over. We had the opportunity to get into MEAC play, and we knew that we were going to a hostile environment. We had to go play our best game. And I thought, for the first time for the 2025 season that we put all 3 phases together where we played really well. And that was the challenge to our football team coming out of the bye week. We wanted to make sure that we can be playing complementary football at the right time. For me, it's about having the right confidence at the right time. And our team is very confident right now. We really, really believe in playing some good, inspired football. And I tell them, man, you find out who you are in September, and then in October, you want to be playing some really good football. And we took care of October, so now we get an opportunity to make it in November to remember.
Okay, well, let's look ahead now to this week. Morgan State. The Bears lost a tough one. Took Howard to overtime at homecoming on the road. And you've got some work to do because 2 years ago, the Bears, last time they were in Orangeburg, they escaped with a W.
Absolutely. And I know Coach Wilson, man, that's my guy. He'll have his team ready to go, well-coached football team. That was a tough versus Howard, man. I tell you what, it went down to the wire. Obviously went into overtime. Really good football game, man. And they've been playing some good ball all year. So I have nothing but respect for Coach Wilson and his staff and what they do and what they'll bring to the table. But it's my job to make sure the Bulldogs ready to go. We'll be at home and have an opportunity to have a good week of practice and chop wood, carry water, fall in love with the process of trying to go 1-0 every day. So when we get to Saturday, we can try to do the same.
Okay, all right. So let's open it up now with the questions from the media. We just got a couple of them for you this morning, Coach. James Hill is on top first. Go, James.
Coach, how are you? I hope everybody is well in Orangeburg. How's it going?
Mr. Hill, all is well here in the Burg. All is well. Absolutely.
All right. All right. Talk a little bit about this year's team. This is the time of year you guys have worked for, whether it was back in January or through the spring and the summer. Now we get into the MEAC, as you say, November football. Talk about this weekend, what you want to get done, and the guys in your program who can do it.
Well, the mission for us doesn't change. 1-0. That's where I've been. That's our culture. That's what we always talk about, just winning the day. So for us, we knew with so many newcomers. I mean, people on the outside really didn't understand, but we had a lot of newcomers, man. So it takes time to gel, to come together as a football team, as a program. And we're clicking at the right time, and that's really what it's all about. You want to be playing really good, inspired football at this time. And when we talk about complementary football, that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. We talk about situational football quite a bit. We practice situational football. I was sharing with the team yesterday after practice, we had a situation in the game where, right before the half, we always talk about winning the middle 8. Well, it was like 40 seconds to left. We had all 3 timeouts. We literally just practiced that situation on Thursday. that same situation, and we wanted to try to get points before the half, and we were able to, in practice, to take it right down just like we did in the game and score a touchdown before the half. So, for us, it's about preparation. We respect every opponent we play. We don't look at records. We respect the opponent. But if the separation is in the preparation, it's about preparing the right way to put your young men in a position. Because last time I checked, man, it's about the players. It's really, we talk a lot about the coaches, which it's our job to put our young men in a position to be successful. But it really comes down to the players. The players make the plays. So us as coaches, we got to do a good job of putting our young men in a situation to be successful so they can go out there on Saturdays and, again, get the fruits of their labor. And I'm excited to see the young men in our program. If you really watch the game, some guys are really showcasing their talents at the right time.
Good luck this week, week 2 of MEAC play. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, James. Thanks, James. Chris Stevens.
Good morning, Coach Barry. How are you, sir?
Mr. Stevens, how you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. There's obviously a lot that goes into winning this league, as you know now. And with everything going on around town, I'm still thinking about what Ric Flair used to say back in the day: to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And as it stands right now, South Carolina State is still the man in this conference. Is there a level of confidence that you and your guys walk around with, or do you just kind of sort of let them know that, okay, last year was cool, but we still got to focus on this year?
New team, man. New team, new season. But there's an expectation around here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. There's an expectation that's been set a long time, well before me. Oliver Buddy Pugh, Willie Jeffries, been winning football games for a long time. They expect to win around here, man. And I'll tell you what, it's my job to be the leader of this ship. And as we got the pen, we write our own script on a clean sheet of paper. And I'm super excited to have an opportunity to get young men to believe. For us, we're always going to stay humble and hungry, though, because we hadn't done anything for the 2025 season. It's a new team, new season, but our mission doesn't change. So, around here, man, these guys understand. When we win ball games, I probably coach them a little harder than I did before we won ball games. So they understand that there's a standard on how we do things and how we practice, how we meet, how we go to study hall, how we go to class, how we go to meetings, how we represent, just like we just finished with a community service opportunity this morning on our day off. It's how our program is ran as I'm serious about, because to me, it's about winning football games, but winning souls and make sure we have good holistic development is what it's all about here at South Carolina State University.
Thanks for your time as always, Coach. Best of luck this weekend.
Appreciate you, man. Enjoy your day.
Barry, final question this morning comes from Dwayne Nash.
Good morning, Coach. How are you this morning?
Mr. Nash, how you doing this morning, man? All is well here.
I'm doing blessed, Coach. Every week we talk about your turnover in your program and your team gelling. After your performance this past Saturday, and after what your team has gone through with this non-conference slate, has this team fully taken shape to what you want them to look like for the rest of the year?
Playing some good ball at the right time, man. If you look at some of our players, man, for me, man, I'll try to focus on the players, man. Our quarterback plays some really good ball. He did a good job of managing our offense. Took the ball up and down the field against a good football team. And our receiver, George Smith, man, what a great day he had. Almost 200 yards receiving. Our running backs, they ran well. Tyler Smith and our young freshman, Mason Pickett Hicks, play well. And it always starts with the big boys up front, man. And they're playing well, confident football at the right time. And then you go to the defense side of the ball. Tell you what, our guys were hunting. Jordan Dollar, guy has been in a program, waiting on his turn, fruits of his labor. He was our team player of the week on defense this week. Had a great game, 2.5 sacks, several tackles for loss. Great day for the young man. And, all in all, special teams, we were special. I thought our guys did a good job of hunting all day. We made all our extra points, made all our field goals. We only punted one time, and our punter averaged 41 yards on the 1-point punt that he had. So I always try to focus on the players. They're playing inspired football, confident football at the right time, and that's what it's all about.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck this week against Morgan State.
I appreciate it, man. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Barrett, that's it for our media questions. So we'd like to wish you nothing but the best of luck. We'll give you your time back to go game planning for your home game this weekend against Morgan State. So for all you media guys, thanks for joining, taking the questions for Coach Barry. We're going to turn our attention now to Morgan State because they'll be the opponent this coming Saturday at 2 p.m. in Oliver C. Dawson Stadium on ESPN Plus. And I see head coach Damon Wilson is with us now. Good morning to you, Coach Wilson.
Good morning, Lynn. How are you doing?
Man, we're doing good, and with just a few minutes to go, it looked like the Bears had ruined the Bison homecoming. Something happened. They score to tie it, go to overtime, and they sneak out with a win at homecoming. That was a tough pill to swallow. Tell us about it and how do you recover from it?
Yeah, it definitely was a tough pill to swallow. That was the third game we lost. Last play of the game, in the fourth quarter with a fourth quarter lead late in the game. Situational football. It shouldn't have gotten to that point. We missed the extra point earlier in the game, and we missed a field goal earlier in the game. So that would have not even put us in an overtime situation. We also had 3 takeaways defensively, and we didn't get any points off those 3 takeaways. We turned the ball over once, and they scored off that one turnover that we did, turn the ball over. So situational football, man, we got to do a better job. We're working at practice every day. We just got to carry out practice habits, practice routines to the game on Saturday.
Well, let's look ahead to this coming Saturday, Coach. Last time the Bears went in Orangeburg, they came out with a huge win. What will it take to slow down the red-hot Bulldog offense this weekend and get back on track in the MEAC race?
It's going to take a total team effort, man. It's a good, really, really, really good football team. They're balanced. Like I said, they run the ball well, they throw the ball well. They got 2 quarterbacks. They got several backs, and those big guys up front get after it pretty good. They beat us up pretty good last year here at Morgan. So Coach Berry, he's a guy that he and I have over probably 20 years of relationship. I respect everything he does with regards to his team and his program. And they have a championship pedigree. They are the reigning champions. So we got to have a total team effort to have a chance to win on this coming Saturday.
Okay, Coach, let's open it up now for the media reps. We're going to start with James Hill. James.
Hey, Coach Wilson, I hope you and everyone in Baltimore are well. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir. Everyone's well, James. How about yourself?
I'm blessed.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about the 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams as you get ready for the second week, the second game in the MEAC, as you'll see South Carolina State. Tell us what you think so far.
I think this past week, offensively, we moved the ball pretty well. We scored the ball. Our freshman quarterback did a decent job. Did not turn the ball over, managing the game. Defensively, I think we did a pretty good job after we spotted them. But 2 touchdowns, we kind of held the course, and then the floodgates opened up a little bit later and gave up some explosive plays. Just alignment, assignment, missed tackles, and special teams I mentioned already. We had a missed extra point and a missed field goal, 2 missed field goals. So we got to play better in those areas. Guys have to step up and make the necessary plays. We got some guys that weren't quote unquote the starters, but right now at this point in the season, there's no more freshmen. Everybody that have played and been around for a number of weeks. We just got to execute. Got to execute better, and got to execute when games on the line. We hadn't done that.
Good luck this week, Coach. Appreciate
Yes, sir,
you.
James. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Coach, the next question comes from Chris Stevens from HBCU Sports.
Good morning, Coach Wilson. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Chris. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Sure.
These close losses, they hurt everybody. Coaches, players, fans, all of that. But do you think this sort of stuff only makes you strong? I mean, that old saying, that does not kill you makes you stronger is what I'm trying to say here. Do you think that matters, with trying to build a football team, especially with so much still on the line with regards to MEAC play?
Well, what you want to do is use some of these experiences to help you carry over to the next game. And like I said, we've had 3 in one season. When I first got here, some of these games weren't close. Now the games are close. We got to learn how to win, how to learn how to finish. And that's something that we talked about going into the year, and we still hadn't put it all together. We've been kind of taking turns, making mistakes at unopportune times. And what I've done is turn our whole practice into situational football. Every day we got several situations going on to prepare these guys for, those gotta have it moments, those situations where you have to make sure everything is in the right position and everybody is in the right position to make the necessary plays. And so that's something we're going to continue to do. We're going to continue to build on something we have to do and have to get better at. It's situational football, and we'll continue to work on those things.
Thanks for your time as always, Coach. Best of luck this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Coach. Our next question comes from Ray Rogers, Urban Sports Team.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Ray. How you doing, bud?
I'm hanging in there, my man, and I've been having the privilege of interviewing you since you were at Bowie, and I feel like this season right here is the most visibly frustrated that I've seen you. And I just want to simply ask: is this the most frustrating stretch you've had, considering all that you've been through, the close losses, the late game execution at Georgetown? Is this the most frustrated you've been as a head coach?
I don't want to use the word frustrated. This is a situation where I understand our situation. I understand what we're doing well, what we're not doing well. I understood what I was coming into, taking over this program. I'm proud of the guys that we have. However, some guys, we got to grow up fast. We got to grow up fast. It's definitely making me reach in my creative bag more to try to prepare these guys for game situations. But yes, I'm definitely digging a little deeper than I had to in the past with regards to situational football and getting these guys football IQ where it needs to be, and definitely in crucial times.
Hey, well, I appreciate you, and good luck. Keep pushing.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Ray.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Ray. Thanks for all the questions for Coach. Coach, that's it for us this week on the questions. We'll give you the time back to go and get ready to travel to Orangeburg, South Carolina. It's going to be Morgan State at South Carolina State Saturday, October 25th, 2 p.m. kickoff on ESPN Plus. And as we prepare to close, well, boy, I'll tell you, it's been a great start to the race for the MEAC Championship and the Cricket Celebration Bowl, and it's only going to get better beginning this Thursday, y'all. Thursday night, concluding with the rest of the week matchups on Saturday afternoon. It's exciting, isn't it? And so I just thank you all for joining us. And this concludes our weekly MEAC Football Coaches video conference presented by our great partners at Wells Fargo. Before we end the conference, though, we'd also like to thank all who assisted and participated, that's you, in today's video conference. The MEAC would also like to thank our corporate partners for their continued support of our conference and our elite 8-member institutions. As a reminder, the next conference is going to be next Monday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. For more information on MEAC football and other MEAC-sponsored sports, visit MEACsports.com and follow the MEAC on social media at MEAC Sports on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. So that's it. We'll see you next week as we follow MEAC Sports. Take care and have a great one.